This is the Diabolical Ironclad Beetle, a type of wood beetle native to a couple areas in North America, largely California and Baja California. These guys are wood decomposers, largely eating dead and dying wood, and they're noted for being pretty much impossible to squish, hence the name Ironclad. They have an incredibly tough and durable exoskeleton, which can withstand forces of up to like 15 kilograms. Now, this is due to a couple different adaptations within the exoskeleton itself. First off, it's just very, very thick and hard, and rather hard to puncture anyway on its own. However, there are also a couple other adaptations. The first kind of section of the elytra, or the wing coverings, are kind of stuck together in a zipper-ish pattern. That makes it so they can't actually open at the top, and that provides extra structure and protection against any crushing forces. However, that does also make it impossible for these beetles to fly, so while, as far as I'm aware, they do have wings, the wings are just trapped under the elytra and non-functional. Now, the second half of the elytra, the bottom bits, they do actually separate and come apart. They aren't hinged together, and that is to allow a bit of separation to kind of release compressive force and allow all of that force to be absorbed and kind of distributed otherwise through the beetle instead of just having it all come down and squish it. The back of the beetle also does kind of have an interlocking puzzle zigzag pattern that again helps lock together and create a protective barrier against all of that crushing force. So, stepping on this beetle is pretty much useless. Like, they will come out essentially fine from any crushing force. The exoskeleton itself also has a much higher protein content than other beetle exoskeletons, which again helps make it super tough and resistant to crushing force, so much so that they can even be run over by cars and be completely fine. Now, this makes it incredibly hard to pin specimens as well. You can't just shove a pin through specimens like normal beetles. You have to actually drill a small hole through the exoskeleton and then put the pin in. It's also one of the longest lived beetles too, with a captive lifespan of around 8 or so years, as opposed to the maybe 1 year, 2 years max, most likely a couple months, that other beetle species exhibit. It's also extremely predator resistant. Like, most animals actually cannot eat this other than perhaps swallowing them whole, but this absolutely overpowered exoskeleton really stops pretty much anything from eating them. So I don't really know exactly how the population is kept in control then. Maybe they just have a really long gestation period and produce low offspring yield, but I don't really know about that. If you do know, let me know in the comments. But as far as I'm aware, there's no real predators of the ironclad beetle either. Now, this absolutely overpowered exoskeleton is definitely being researched for technology, seeing if we can harness this beetle's power to make man-made substances that have the same resistance to compressive forces. So in the near future, there most likely will be some very interesting results from those studies, but for now, this beetle is just really strong and kind of, again, overpowered.